Major League Volleyball on CBS Sports Network is presented by Chase Sapphire as we welcome you live to Volleytown, Omaha, Nebraska, as champions collide early in this third season of the MLV. It's last year's winner, the Orlando Valkyries, versus the Omaha Supernovas, who were champions in 2024 in each of those years. These teams took home a cool $1 million bonus. Hi, everybody. I'm Paul Sunderland. Thanks so very much for joining us. My partner this afternoon in Volleytown is Madison Fitzpatrick. And one of these teams stayed pat, the champions. The other, Omaha, which won a couple of years ago, made lots of changes. How do they enter into the 26th season?
Absolutely. Orlando returned 9 returners from that championship team, including all of their starters. And then the Omaha Supernovas, they have 9 new faces on their team. But here's the thing. Although the makeup is different, they have a similarity. Both teams are stacked with talent and a ton of depth.
And no chance to compete in this league if you don't have an elite setter. And we've got 2 of the very best here this afternoon. Sydney Hilly, all she does is play for championships, and Shampoo was the MVP last year in the title match.
Shampoo is the heartbeat of this Orlando Valkyries team. She plays with such precision. She's able to change the tempo depending on who she's setting, and she does it with such expertise. This past year, she competed in, get this, VNL, World Champs, Athletes Unlimited, Southeast Asian Games, and now MLV. And those experiences lead to her being elite. Watch her run all 4 routes that Orlando runs with a ton of expertise. And she was last season's championship MVP as well, so just a stacked resume. And then for Omaha Supernovas, watch Sydney Hilly, and like you said, she's got championship mentality. Coach Lucas LeBay used 2 words to describe her: experience and quality. Experience like being a national champion with Wisconsin, 2024 with Omaha, and then she took Indy to the final, so all she knows is the championship. Her placement of the ball, her ability to put her hitters in positions to succeed, and how steady she leads are just a few of the things that make her special.
Now let's take a look at the Wren Athletics starting lineups. Brooke Nuneviller, the most outstanding outside hitter last year. Sarah Parsons off to a very good start. Getzinger and Anabanjo in the middle. Merritt Beeson at Atlanta last year, now in home territory, if you will, back in Nebraska. We've talked about Hilly. And Morgan Hentz, twice the Libero of the Year in Major League Volleyball, coming over to bolster the defensive lineup for Omaha. And now for Orlando. The champions last year, Charity Looper and Hannah Maddox will be at the outside hitting position. 2 new faces, but interesting. They played together in Vegas last year. Brown Foster in the middle, along with the overall season MVP, Brittany Abercrombie, Champu, and Teodora Pusic, the most outstanding libero at the 2022 Women's World Championships from Serbia. Ready to go. Orlando at 2-0. They've had the week off. Omaha at 2-1. They lost to Atlanta on Friday in this building, 3-2. A reverse sweep. They got it played very, very well, up 2-0, but then Atlanta came storming back and dominated the 5th set. More on that. I had a chance to speak with new head coach Lucas Slabe about what happened on Friday night. We'll get that to you as the match is underway. Natalie Foster, number 13, already doing damage from the service line. There's Coach Slabe. And Shampoo will start things out. First touch by Hentz. And Parsons, that was a very nice roll shot. Sarah Parsons, 6'2", in her 8th year as a pro, a new mother. Her young son Ezra will be 1 year old on January 25th. There is Lucas Slabe, and what a resume he has. Formerly the head coach of the Slovenian men's team. And they are a factor in Europe, and that's really saying something, and much more on him as the match goes along. Brittany Abercrombie, we're going to see that an awful lot off the right side for Orlando in their light blue uniforms.
And Brittany Abercrombie, you're going to see a lot of range from her. She's going to attack the back line. She's got that sharp angle. She's got the line. You're going to see a lot of variety in her shots.
Lucas Slabe, longtime member of Coach Karch Kirai's staff on both the men's and the women's side. Coverage by Pusic, and tip over the top of the block. Nuneviller is all over that. Parsons out of the back row and got a nice touch high flat off the top of the block.
And it's so nice to have Parsons in the back row as an outlet, because Brooke Nuneviller, the off blocker, comes in to dig that ball up. You need an outlet in the back row to set. Parsons can take care of the ball anywhere she is.
Well, you'll see Anabanjo, 6'1" in her 2nd year. Played collegiately at Iowa and Kansas. Abercrombie again. Did she get a piece of the block? No, missed that out of bounds. When I was speaking with Coach Slabe about what happened on Friday night, he said, Paul, We started serving, we were a candy store in the third set, just lollipop after lollipop. We did not serve with aggressiveness, with direction, with pace, with speed, and Atlanta got comfortable, and they turned that match around on us. Nice dig by Hilly. Getzinger out of the middle, just keeping that ball off the floor, and Hilly again. Parsons with the chase and can't keep that ball off the floor.
Charity Luber was phenomenal in her first and only match so far with the Valkyries. 22 kills and 25 digs. I love the fact that she's getting the start here tonight because she was so successful in finding ways to score in her first match.
And what was her reward? She got benched for the next match.
That's just how much depth they have in the outside position with the Valkyries.
Yeah, 4 very, very good outside hitters for Orlando, the defending champions. Courtney Schwann, an all-around, do-everything kind of player. Nice tip over the top. What makes Abercrombie so, I won't say impossible, but very difficult to defend?
I think it's the variety and the range at which she attacks the ball. She also contacts it really high, and she sells the hard swing every single time. So then when she does take something off of it, the defense is on their heels.
24 kills, 14 digs. She does defend her position in the right back as well versus Grand Rapids. 6'3", played collegiately at USC, was the most valuable player of the regular season last year. 4.4 kills to go along with 2.7 digs. Merritt Beeson, a little new lease on life after being the #1 overall pick, coming back home, if you will, after having starred for the Cornhuskers. Dug by Parsons. Nunaviller, her first swing, and that 2 off the top of the block. And that's another thing that Coach Slave talked about. He said, Paul, we are getting blocked way too often. 35 times out of 305 swings. That's over 10%. That's a terrible number. He wanted his team to do exactly what Parsons has done and exactly what Nunaviller just did. Hit off the top of the block. Good reception by both of these teams, and Charity Luber, really, really dynamic player out of first UCLA and then Louisville.
And because of Shampu's set and because of how hard Kaz Brown just sold her middle swing, it was a one-on-one situation for Luber, who goes high down the line over Sydney Hilly.
Here's Abercrombie. Perfect in reception, a little bit of a combination play. Rips it inside to Nunaviller.
Brooke Nunaviller is one of those players that just has to be on the court at all times, defensively and with the pass. She's absolutely elite. And then you see her here with that big snap on the ball. A lot of space between Kaz Brown and Shampu, and she took advantage.
Last year, the outside hitter of the year in 2025, 4th in the league in kills per set, and really good at the defensive end and reception as well. Both teams siding out at a pretty nice rate.
And both teams going for the pins right now. I mean, both teams in general are very outside heavy. I know that both of them want to get their middles going, but right now the passes have been a little off the net, so it's been very heavy outside so far.
Working short serve, Hentz has to cover a lot of territory. Hentzville got a subdivision there, got expanded. Good block by Parsons, one-on-one. Shampu quickly to the outside, and Hannah Maddox has a load of talent, number 14 in light blue out of South Alabama, again played in Vegas last year. There's Amy Pollock, champion last year. Her 3rd season, 18-10 last year. They finished 3rd, beat Atlanta in the semis, 3-1, and that beat Indy for the $1 million first prize bonus. 1 in a million. Working on Parsons. That ball left a little inside, and there's Kaz Brown with Shampu and the stuff.
One of the things that makes Kaz Brown such an elite middle blocker is her discipline. She's quick side to side, but then on top of that, she has the press and the timing. It's the little things that you do with the block that makes her so elite, and she has all of it.
3rd year in Orlando, was middle blocker of the year in 2024. Both teams trying to keep up service pressure. Here is number 23, Elise Getzinger, rookie 6'4" middle blocker. Played at Kentucky, won a national championship there, and then also right here at Creighton. Very, very good on the slide. Working on Luber, handled pretty well. That was a tough serve. Connection not there. Nunaviller in too early. 1-on-1. And that's going to be a center line violation against Maddox. Got to be very careful in that neutral zone above the center line. That's a violation. And we have come to the first technical timeout here in Omaha. Battle of Champions. Last year's and in 2024. Orlando and Omaha.
Fans, please welcome to the court the Supernovas High Squad.
Major League Volleyball on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Franklin Sports, the official ball of MLV.
Well, it is wintertime in the Midwest, and it certainly was frigid in Omaha yesterday, single digits. It was a balmy 23 when we came over to serve and pass this morning. I was wearing a t-shirt, short, and flip-flops after yesterday. My face nearly froze off getting my rental car. I'm not built for 8 degrees. I don't think anybody is. Getzinger back to serve. 2 technical timeouts. We've just had the one at 8. We'll have another one at 16. Each team gets 2 team timeouts. And also a change this year. Instead of 2 challenges, you get only 1. But if your challenge is upheld, then you basically have an unlimited number. So you've got to be a smart challenger. Here is Brown. Tough serve, nice pass. On a banjo on the slide, right on the end line.
Watch on a banjo, take her time, run the route, track the ball nicely. Sydney Hilly did a really good job at pushing that ball all the way out to her right shoulder, and then she goes down the line in between zone 6 and 5.
Yep, on Omaha as well. That's the first kill of the season for on a banjo. Very undersized is Charity Looper at 5'10" generously. Do you block differently? Do you have to be quicker? What do you do against a small, very high jumping outside hitter?
Especially because her set is such a tempo set, you've got to get there quick. You've got to have a big press, but you got to make sure to get your feet there because it's such a tempo set.
Foster with it. That's a big block. Natalie Foster, good hands on it. Number 13 along with Abercrombie. Maddox, smart shot down the line. Hilly, the setter, taken out of the play. Morgan Henson, expert bump setter. Good read by Pusic. Why was she there? What a read by the libero. Longest rally of this opening set. On a banjo. Pusic again. Right side to Beeson, and finally to the floor for number 13 in white.
What a rally. Both teams' defenses so quick twitch, so ready. Pusic, absolutely phenomenal defensively. Obviously has a ton of experience in the position, puts herself in the right position, and then is so fast. Look at the layout of that, so good.
Good reception by Looper and a dig by Hentz. Hentz again, really hard to put a ball away in area 5. That's in the left front, left back area. Hentz stepping in again, out to Beeson. Excellent, excellent high flat swing off hands.
And that's exactly what they were talking about working on. High hands, no low seam. Merritt Beeson said herself she loves to rip it into that low seam, but something that she's been working on is swinging high off of the hands of the block. And she knows that's got to be an emphasis for her to score.
A first-team All-American her senior year at Nebraska after transferring from Florida. That ball right on the sideline. Major League Volleyball replay system. You notice we don't have lines, people. It's all called automatically using Hawkeye. So the technology very, very good. That ball was quickly called in. Christian Fischatz is the #1 referee. Bill Thornburg is the second. Parsons is rock solid. Dug by Shampoo. Throw down into the middle. Dug nicely by Maddox. And Brittany Abercrombie again. Boy, she has got the full fan, the whole court she attacks.
And that's exactly why she's so difficult to stop. If the block does adjust, then she just adjusts right back. She's got that range. It's nice and sharp. She also puts a lot of work in transition to get off the net for the full approach.
Parsons been good in reception. They might think about moving that ball around. Hentz stepping in again. Here comes Beeson. Rip into the cross court. Good start for Merritt Beeson, number 13 in white.
That is Merritt Beeson's bread and butter. Cross court, nice, strong swing on the ball. Morgan had such a good out-of-system setter. You have to be at this level, and she's got that down pat.
And her former coach, John Cook, now part owner and general manager of the Omaha Supernovas, wanted to get her back to Nebraska. And so he acquired her as a free agent out of Atlanta. So far, the efficiency not quite there. There's Coach Cook, 5 times a national champion. We had a very nice visit, about an hour ago before first serve. He's now living comfortably in retirement in beautiful Wyoming at the foot of Yellowstone, and a horse lover, and just did a phenomenal job as one of the top coaches in the history of college volleyball, no question about it.
And right after this, he's going to ride some horses in Arizona. He told me right before the broadcast.
Life is good. Enjoying being a grandparent, just like yours truly. Good block deflection by Getzinger, and that ball played. Brooke Nunaviller never lets a ball go down without a fight. If it was dug into the concession stand, she'd come back with mustard on her nose.
And you have to appreciate that from a leader. That's why she's so respected. Coach said we basically have 6 liberos on the court, and she's one of them.
Tied for the 9th time. These two teams have won the last 2, the first 2 championships. Brooke Nunaviller down the line. Nunaviller 4th in the league last year in kills per set. Right now, Everton, pretty close that number-wise, but her efficiency, along with Merritt Beeson's, it's got to improve over the year. She's only hitting 206 and Beeson 143. I know it's a small sample size, but they got to do better. That ball served just out of bounds. Another very, very good crowd on hand here at CHI Medical Center. Last year, this team averaged 10,925. Very impressive numbers. Looper again. Targeting Parsons, but she's been right up to it. Good block again. Nicely done by Hannah Maddox. That's 4 contacts. And approaching the 2nd media or technical timeout. Comes at 16.
Coach Amy Pauley did tell us they want to target the outsides for Omaha to try and take them out of the offense, but Parsons is passing dimes right now.
Yeah, Parsons is 67% good or positive passing. That ball is an unforced error by Getzinger at the top of the tape. First lead moments ago for Orlando since 7-6, and they've just extended that. Orlando on top of Omaha, 16-14.
I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story. And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Oppan Gangnam Style. Gangnam Style. Oppan Gangnam Style. Gangnam Style.
Coming up tomorrow morning at 11 Eastern, catch a special presentation of men's college hoops coming your way on MLK Day with a full slate of conference showdowns highlighted by VCU hosting St. Joe's at 3 right here on CBS Sports Network. Martin Luther King, lifetime, one of my absolute heroes. Absolute heroes. Back with Madison Fitzpatrick, All-American on the beach at Florida State, now has a plaque at the football stadium. I'm very happy to share.
Thank you.
Take us to the Omaha side, where they've sort of fallen off a little bit, couple of blocks and a couple unforced errors.
Yeah, I think definitely the unforced errors, and also I know they want to get their middles involved more. Neither middle really in a rhythm yet, so that's got to be something they emphasize.
Out to Parsons, good block deflection by Shampoo. Good slow down and a better read. That's why we talked about 2 elite setters, Shampoo, and so much experience, and she added to that with an incredibly busy late spring, summer, late summer, early fall, 4-0 run now for Shampoo and Orlando. Working on Nunaviller. So reception has been good by both teams. That's tight for Hilly, joust with Brown. Parsons. Both teams good in backcourt defense. Beeson as well, and a tap down. And that ball just out of bounds.
Point Supernovas, killed by
A little bit lucky for Omaha, but they'll take it trailing.
Most definitely now only down by 2. You see Brittany Abercrombie, they ran her in the back row there on the D ball. Watch for some more of that as she continues to heat up in this match.
Abercrombie, 3 kills on 6 swings, and it's very low error rate. Rarely gets blocked, even more rarely hits a ball out of bounds. Good cover by Pusic, and Shampoo now with her 2nd kill.
One of the reasons Shampoo is such an elite setter is because she's very deceptive. She puts her hitters in one-on-one situations because of that deception, and then she also can be an offensive weapon herself, which when you run a 5-1, you have to be an offensive weapon just so the defense respects you.
Round, fairly easy serve, and on the pipe combination. Nunaviller out of the middle back.
Point Supernovas.
We asked Coach how the back row attack was for the Omaha Supernovas, and he said, it's coming along. We're getting there. It's something that they're working on. Nice, quick, big tempo set. And you see her identify the hands of the middle blockers so well, crossbody swing away.
Pipe right back at you. Dug by Nunaviller. Beeson. And Natalie Foster, fantastic rookie season last year. Did most of her damage from the service line. Did number 13, a graduate from SMU, set a new record for service aces. Did Foster, absolutely amazing number, 64 aces. The previous record was 31 by Bethania Dela Cruz. Let's take a look at the team huddle, brought to you by Spalding inside the Orlando huddle. They've been very, very solid ever since about 12 all. We had 9 ties early. What's going on in that huddle?
I think they're happy with the way that they're playing now. They're getting the middles involved. Natalie Foster just got a kill. I think they're passing towards the net. Shampoo's doing what she does best. She's an offensive presence. I think they're happy with the way that they're playing. They're attacking .355, which is pretty solid as a team.
And passing at 69%, good or positive, 62%. Not much difference there. I've mentioned it throughout the play so far, and the level of play on both sides has been quite good, but Shampoo's been a difference maker with a couple of points there, one on a tip and one with a crafty play to score another point. She's got a couple of kills. Abercrombie's leading the team with kills. She's got 3. Shampoo again from Thailand. She told me this morning how to say good morning in Thai. I can't repeat it.
I was going to say, do you remember?
I do not. Beautiful block. Getting back to what Coach Lucas Slabe said, we're just getting blocked way too often, 35 times already this year. Coach Slabe on the staff of Karch Kirai in Tokyo, won a gold medal there, and now on Coach Karch Kirai's men's Olympic staff. Free ball to Orlando, looking to extend their lead even further. One, oh, what a roof by Beeson one-on-one.
That's such a good feeling as a blocker. You know you're just out there by yourself. You're all the way out to the pin. But what she did well there was dive her arms back into the seam. Watch the dive, the press, and the pushing the palms back towards the court.
That might have been a set-saving stuff by Merritt Beeson. If Orlando is able to score on that 1-and-1, they get a 5-point lead, and now quickly, all of a sudden, a turnaround and the momentum back to the side of number 13 in white, Merritt Beeson for the Omaha Supernovas. Back to Lucas Slabe. It was interesting. We spoke to him earlier in the week, and we asked him about how he was approached. And John Cook, the general manager and co-owner of the team, called Luca when he was on the road in Europe with the men's Olympic team and offered him the job, where they started to have discussions. And he said he had to talk to his boss. And I said, Karch? And he said, no, my wife. Talk to my wife first, and then I talked to Karch and make sure that he was cool with me, you know, really dedicating my time and my coaching expertise and all of my energies outside of the men's team. Karch, of course, gave it his blessing. And Karch, I reached out to Karch, head coach of our men's Olympic team. I reached out to him earlier this week and just wanted him to tell me about Luca. And he and Karch, Karch said that they just really connected right away. And he's a wonderful teacher and communicator, is Lucas Slabe, a clinician. He goes to camps a lot, so he's really able to not only coach the game and teach it at a very high level, but also communicate it very well. Really good hire by Omaha. One of 4 new coaches in Major League Volleyball this year. Abercrombie with a big side-out score, 21-18, is the advantage. Abercrombie with her 500th all the careers are short. It's only second year in the league, but already with 500 kills. Right side, back to Beeson, and looks it down the line, and that ball's out of bounds.
Valkyries.
We're going to have our first challenge. Omaha will be challenging a touch on the Orlando block on that swing down the line by Beeson. You can challenge touch off the block.
Omaha is challenging a block touch.
Not challenge a touch off a defender any longer.
This
That's a change from last year.
Smith Volley.
Net violation, couple of foot faults, service line, 3-meter line, center line, 4 contacts, ball up or down, and also ball in the plane. Both teams continue to pass very, very well, and Coach Slave, as we talked about earlier, really emphasizing that his team continues to serve tough. The challenge is for a touch off the Orlando block.
Yeah, I was going to say an interview, like a quick hype.
What did you see live, Matt?
You see the guy behind you in that pink
I didn't
cowboy
see a
hat.
touch, but it's very telling what an athlete does when they come down from their swing, and she did seem pretty convinced that there was a touch. Like I said before, that's something that she's working on, not ripping it into the seam, swinging high off the fingertips. We talked about it. They got outblocked by Atlanta Vibe. The Omaha Supernovas did 18-7. They got blocked 5 times in that 5th set versus the Atlanta Vibe. So this is an aspect of their game that they're working on, the high off the hand swing.
Atlanta hit 287 in that entire contest to Omaha's 175. Atlanta is very good. Holly McPeak and I had them last week, the opening weekend of Major League Volleyball, and they were very impressive. Leah Edmond, right back where she's always been, the outside hitter of the year a couple of seasons ago, and was just fantastic in that particular matchup against Grand Rapids. You look around the league, Columbus is much improved, even though they're 1-3. They've lost 2 5-set matches, including last night to Indy, 22-20 in the 5th set. They also lost another 5-setter earlier on to Grand Rapids, 15-12 in the 5th. So no easy outs, absolutely no easy outs. Indy looks different after having lost Sydney Hilly to free agency. But it was a special relationship she had with George Padgett, which was her youth coach. And he was the head coach at Indy, and when he decided to get back to another line of work, she decided to come back to Omaha, where she began her career and won the first championship. This one's taken a while. Touch is usually pretty fast.
Orlando's in the red zone. I like that he's taking his time. You got to get this one right. Every point matters, especially this late in the set.
Yeah, no, I like the challenge. I mean, if you just let it 22-18, what do you have to lose? Here's a perfect look at it.
Looks wide. And the Valkyries will be awarded the point, so no block touch.
Yep. So it will stay just as it is, and Omaha will be out of challenges for the remainder of this opening set. Again, just 1 per set as opposed to 2 last year. Do you like the reduction from 2 to 1?
Say that again.
Do you like the reduction from 2 challenges to 1?
Yes, I do, because they're trying to make the game go
You
faster,
know that we
which
got
I
fans
like.
in the house who love it.
The fans in it don't have much time to do anything else, just stay engaged. I do like that they did that, and also it puts more pressure on the coaches. You have to be certain, you have to really think about what you're doing, and you have to treat the challenge with a little bit more respect. Also, you can't call a challenge as a way to kind of call a timeout, so it eliminates that as well.
Once again, a superb Supernova crowd here on hand. The CHI Medical Center in downtown Omaha, average 10,925. There's nothing like Nebraska. I called this Volley Town before we had first serve, and it really is that. It's really Volley State. Nobody will ever forget 92,003 at Memorial Stadium for the Nebraska Cornhusker women's volleyball team, an all-time world record for attendance, not only in volleyball, but a women's sporting event. Looper, good off-speed choice. That one away from Hilly.
Charity Looper's got really good vision, too. We talk about her being undersized. She's only 5'9", but she's extremely explosive. She's got a high reach, and then she's got really good vision. She could see right back, being a little too deep.
You know, we talked about this big crowd. I'll tell you what, Orlando is playing so well and so consistently. They've silenced this crowd in the opening set. To Nunaviller. Restart the point. Nunaviller again. How about Abercrombie off the top of the block for the score in trans.
You'll never see Brittany Abercrombie hit the same shot twice in a row. She varies it so much. There, dropping her thumb, driving it down the line. Nice high crossbody swing. It's almost impossible to predict where she's going to attack.
Takes 11 and a half swings. A really, really tough serve coming from Orlando, and they take the opening set. And the second half, they were absolutely red hot. There were 9 ties early, but forget about that. Orlando ended the opener on a 12-4 run, and they close it out on the road in frigid, not so frigid any longer. It was yesterday, but not so much anymore. Orlando, red hot. They brought the warm weather with them. Charity Looper led them along with Shampoo to an opening set win.
Should we do it again? They just told me we can do it again if y'all say yes.
Major League Volleyball on CBS Sports Network is presented by Chase Sapphire. And Orlando played like a fine diamond or sapphire in that opening set, winning it 25-18. Both teams passing pretty well. Orlando better. They're well into the mid-60s, but Omaha not far behind. As we take a look at where the passing distribution took place for Orlando.
Yeah, both teams passing really well. Really what it is the Valkyries just outplayed Omaha in every stat category. Brittany Abercrombie, 5 for 9, hit 444. Charity Looper, 5 for 11, hit 455. Then the Valkyries had 3 blocks to Omaha's 1. But back to your point, Paul, the passing has been really good. The outer zone, 0% of passes have gone to that outer zone, which means this team, Omaha, is completely in system. Mid-zone, 86%, which is that middle half circle, and the target zone, 14% of passes going to that target zone. So they've been in system. The Valkyries, only 6% to the outer zone, so really good passing, both teams.
Maddox off the edge of the block and down. A fantastic delivery by Shampoo, as she was really stretched after a perfect reception by Charity Looper. Looper off to a really good start. 4.4 kills, hit 293, 5 digs. She was number 1 in light blue. And then the number that jumped off for me, you look at volleymetrics, she's passing good or perfect at 68%. I know it's a small sample size. The season's just underway, but those are huge numbers. Nunaviller, number 5 in white.
Supernovas.
Nunaviller is the go-to. Good pass. Like we said before, Omaha's passing well. Their hit percentage was a little low in that first set, hitting 146. So if they can limit the errors, find different ways to score, and not get blocked, it starts with that swing.
Perfect pass. Foster off the top, dug by Nunaviller, chased down by Hilly. Got to keep the free ball kind of low. It's a big scoreboard hanging over the middle of the court. Brittany Abercrombie again, number 6. Excellent play action by Orlando.
Really good setter-hitter connection. They brought Brittany Abercrombie about 4, maybe 5 feet inside the court, inside the antenna. She does a great job at getting her feet to the ball, stresses the block, and then there's a gap. There's a hole in the block, and Brittany Abercrombie with that big snap and score.
Amy Pauley telling us at serve and pass this morning for Orlando. Shampoo and Abercrombie are not completely on the same page just yet. You wouldn't know it by looking at that. So look out for the rest of Major League Volleyball.
She also said Brittany and Shampoo are as close of a package deal as they come, which I love.
Well, they love playing together. They played together in South Korea years and years ago. Shampoo has been at it for a really, really long time, her 13th year as a professional, and it's the 8th now for Abercrombie. There's Natalie Foster. Always a very nervous time on the reception side. Got a very unique, dangerous hybrid. And missed that one down the line. Put on a performance last year in Orlando against India. She served 25 times in the match, missed 1 serve, and set a new league record with 6 aces.
And it's a high-risk, high-reward serve. To only miss 1 of those is phenomenal.
It's the best serving performance I've ever seen.
And you've seen a lot of volleyball.
The only thing that comes close is at the 2012 Olympics by Ivan Zaitsev, but that's a little bit too far inside baseball.
That's Kaz Brown's first kill of the match. She hasn't been set much. It was a really good swing. She had a nice open net for that one.
Brown keeping that ball alive. Free ball coming to Omaha. 1 on. Good block touch by Shampoo. And missed out of bounds. No, that caught a piece of the sideline. It wasn't perfect contact by Maddox, but it was good enough to score the point. Number 14 in light blue.
And I love that you pointed out Shampoo's block touch. That kept the rally going. There's some height disparity every single time between her and that outside attacker, but she hung in the air nicely and slowed down the attack.
At only 5'7", she blocks her position pretty well and getting attacked all the time. Looper chopping wood. Nice turn down the line by number 1.
Orlando, kill by Charity Looper.
Charity Looper hitting around 500. That's her 6th kill. She plays with a lot of consistency for being undersized, but she's so athletic. And right now the Valkyries are just in more of a rhythm. They're in charge of the momentum of the set.
Looper has to put up these kind of numbers if she wants to stay on the court. The other outside hitters, Courtney Schwann, who was so good last year, flew this week, so don't know if she will take the court for Orlando. And also Lindsay Vanderweyde, who played in the Philippines and in the championship round, tweaked an ankle, so still coming back a little bit from that, but looked fine in practice today. Right side, Abercrombie again, dug by Parsons, right on target. Good play by Looper. Oh, smart shot by Hilly over the top. Majored in genetics and genomics. So when I say she's smart, I can barely pronounce genomics, and I'm not sure I know what it is. So pretty cerebral player.
Yeah, it's a situational awareness by Sydney Hilly and the athleticism high over the block, good push, and a lot of hang time from her as well.
Major League Volleyball coming your way on the CBS Sports Network. After the middle of the opening set, it was all Orlando. They closed on a 12-4 run to take the opening set 25-18. And Looper has been fantastic in all phases. But both teams passing the ball well, that off of Shampoo and out of bounds. And she takes pride in her block. She was very upset that she was tooled out of bounds.
Yeah, she definitely does. She gets up nice and high, but it's the follow-through from Brooke Nunaviller. That's purposeful, driving through the ball all the way through your swing and then watching it off the hands of Shampoo.
Technical timeout coming when a team reaches 8. There's Kaz Brown, and there is 8. And we'll go to the technical timeout. Number 11 strutting her way back to the service line. 8-6 is the advantage. We'll take a timeout. And while we have a moment, Leonardo, happy birthday.
second to recognize all of our farmers in the building tonight from all over the state. Thank you for everything you do for us. Novas Nation, one more time for the farmers. Fans going into you to be the DJs tonight. Presented by NRG Media. Scan the QR code up on the video right now and vote on which song you want to hear. During the third set, your choices.
An excellent start for the reigning champions, the Orlando Valkyries. 25-18 opening set. Outside hitters is a real strength for Orlando, and it will be all season long. There you see Courtney Schwann in the gray sweatshirt again, a little bit under the weather. And look at that. Lindsay Vadewide and Courtney Schwann were the bookend outside hitters when this team won the title last year.
And look at the depth that they have on this team. Coach Amy Pauley says it's a blessing and it's a curse, but the good thing is that each of them have different strengths. So what she can do is pick and choose depending on the matchup, depending on what strengths that she needs. She said Vanderwide and Schwann are really good blockers on the left. She said Maddox and Looper can be more terminal. She said really, but what it's going to come down to is who can out of system kill the ball the most efficiently. And that's how she's looking at these outside hitters to see who should play.
There is Brown, who had that big kill right before the technical timeout. Off speed and not alive by Maddox. A little bit late getting after that one, but good off speed for Nunaviller, who's off to a good start offensively. Nunaviller now 3 kills on 4 swings. That can't be right, because we had hit a button. 6 kills on 14 swings. She was 3 for 4 so far in the second set.
No errors.
Up into the block and down. Very nice block on the perimeter. Merritt Beeson, 6'4", along with Anna Banjo. Merritt Beeson is a solid pin blocker.
Yep, Coach told us Merritt Beeson keeps the outside hitters at a low number. She's very disciplined. She's got a big press, and Anna Banjo got to her really well and quickly.
Maddox again, going high hands. Dug easily by Hintz. Perfect free ball pass. Here's Abercrombie slicing and dicing again. Where hasn't she hit the ball? We're just really early on, almost midway point in the second set, and she's hit almost every area of the court.
Well, the block was all the way out to the pin. You can see it on the replay, and so when the block is all the way out there, I mean, she still has so much line, but she also has cross. One area that we haven't seen her attack is that little tip that she loves over the block. She has yet to pull that out.
Really good at throwing the ball right down into the soft spot in the middle of the court. Outside to Beeson, who catches a piece of Merritt Beeson. Nicely done with a good start offensively.
I believe, if I remember this correctly, Merritt Beeson had 10 kills in the second set of their last match, so she really has the ability to heat up and be the main point scorer for this team. It also provides the Omaha Supernovas with a lot of balance when she's on.
Tough serve, working on Maddox. Beeson now is 3 of 9 with 1 error. That ball hit out of bounds, and very rare for Abercrombie to make a mistake in that phase.
Hannah Maddox getting targeted on serve. Coach Amy Pauley told us she's challenged her with ball control. She said her first contact has got to get better, but she comes in every day for passing reps. But you see her getting targeted right now.
That was a tough serve to handle. Not sure who that is too. Maddox, really good swing high up into Anna Banjo. That's the throwdown you were talking about. Beeson really working hard at the defensive end. Shampoo taken out of the play. Here's Abercrombie. Hintz all over that. Beeson missed it just out of bounds. Again, no lines, people. It's called automatically using an electronic system. That was a good swing. Really good swing. Just missed the sideline.
And I think Merritt Beeson was pretty convinced that she got it in there, too. That was a great swing.
That ball off the receiver and out of bounds, and nicely done by Maddox.
Something that Hannah Maddox brings to this team is, Coach told us, she is a gamer. While she may not be perfect in every area, she works so incredibly hard, and she has such a gamer mentality no matter where she is.
Tough serve again. A service winner, and then a clean ace, and Orlando back on top after having won the first set 25-18. We're talking about the passing. Again, the sample size is small. Orlando's only played a couple of matches, but she's passing positive at 48% as compared to 58% for Charity Looper. Timeout is called. Team timeout taken by Omaha. They are at 2-1. They won their opening match 3-0 over San Diego and then won at Columbus 3-1 before losing on Friday to Atlanta in 5 sets. Well, we got a timeout. Let's get ready for another epic round of the UEFA Champions League. European football's most coveted competition begins Tuesday at 12:45 Eastern, right here on CBS Sports Network, and stream every match live on Paramount+.
I think a big thing for Omaha coming out of this timeout, they do a good job at getting their way back into this game and kind of chipping away, but they let the Valkyries go on too many runs. The Valkyries kind of control the momentum, and they've stayed ahead consistently, so I think they need to limit those runs.
Tough serve again, working on Parsons. The player of the week this week in Major League Volleyball, wearing number 11, off to a wonderful start. Getting ready to celebrate her son Ezra's first birthday on January 25th. Nunaviller again, really doing a good job offensively, as is Hilly. On a banjo. Foster with the paintbrush. Hilly again, right side to Beeson is roofed. Charity Looper, all of that.
It's the hang time from Charity Looper, the discipline, the press. You have to be invasive over the net. Natalie Foster reaching her arms a little late to close, and Charity Looper says, no problem, I'm going to dive my arms into this seam.
The block deflection, Shampoo out of the play. Hittable ball outside to Abercrombie. That is a brilliant set, and that ball still alive. Nice play by Looper. I'll tell you, the block for Orlando is really stout right now. They are touching everything. Out to Looper. Through the block and down. Have another challenge. Luca Slabe, again, in the very beginning of his first year in Major League Volleyball. Bird Kuhn was the coach in Omaha prior. She now has a general manager's responsibility.
Omaha is challenging an antenna fault.
This challenge brought to you by Smith Volley.
Omaha is challenging, but the ball contacted the antenna, which would immediately be out of bounds. Well, what do you think, Madison?
I can't totally tell from this angle.
Yeah, that looked like the ball was well inside the antenna. But we are in the midst of a challenge. We had one in the opening set. Orlando on top 14-11. Last year they finished third. They were 18-10 in the regular season, beat Atlanta in the semis and then beat Indy in the championship. Omaha, they were the regular season champions last year. Best record at 21-7. But they, however, lost in the semifinals to the Indy Ignite 15-13 in the 5th set. And made a lot of changes, as you talked about before first serve. 9 new faces, along with Parsons, Getzinger. Sydney Hilly returned to Omaha, where she began her professional career. Here's another look.
Yes, this is the play that we're looking at. Omaha challenged that it touched the antenna on this play. Turns out, no, unsuccessful challenge, so Omaha will lose it, and the Valkyries stay in the lead.
Okay, no more challenges for Omaha throughout the course of this second set. And Natalie Foster will continue to serve. Last year, again, remarkable for this rookie out of SMU. 6'4", 5 aces already against San Diego. She has 6 aces in 8 sets through 2 matches. Parsons got a piece of the block. Ooh, but they're out of challenges. Immediately the rule changed. Last year, the first 2 years of Major League Volleyball, you had 2 challenges. It's now down to 1. That ball
my goodness.
was out, but to my eye, and I'll defer to you, there was definitely a touch off the block.
I thought so as well, and Omaha was convinced as well. One challenge really changes the game.
To Brock, in her second year out of Creighton on the floor now, wearing number 7 in white for Omaha. Off speed, Brown there hanging. Shampoo smartly taken out of the play. Here's Abercrombie again. High up into the block, covered by Foster. Sydney Hilly said, enough of this. She said, I can do what Shampoo can do as well.
The blocking has been phenomenal on both sides of the net. Both teams doing a really good job at slowing down the attack, getting hands on the ball. And also, both teams doing a good job at covering. And that was really well timed. Long rally, defense on their heels. Just right over the net, really well placed.
Nora assist to Brock. Got married in November in her second season. 6'1" outside hitter. What a career she had. Nice play by Beeson at Creighton. Big East Player of the Year during her collegiate time. And Charity Looper, again, is doing it in reception, defense, and had that huge stuff block against Beeson earlier on and leading the way for the visitors from Orlando on top 16-12 in the second.
Telling you about this, Supernovas fans. It is Farmer Appreciation Night thanks to the Nebraska Corn Board. I got this shirt from Lawler's, and you know what? Lawler's is gonna hook you up with shirts too. We call this a t-shirt toss. Hey, you want one? Put your hands in the air real quick. Hands up, higher, higher. Let's see your hands. T-shirt time.
Major League Volleyball on CBS Sports Network is presented by Chase Sapphire. Orlando up 25-18 in the opening set, 16-12 here. And Brittany Abercrombie again uses all the real estate to score.
I mean, she does. The range is unbelievable. If the block sets up more inside, she'll take it down the line. If the block sets up more outside, she's got that sharp cross swing. She's really difficult to beat on the block. She's so deceptive. She's also got every shot in the book. She brought out that tip right over the block. Coach said she's one of the best leaders that she's ever been able to coach. She leads by example. She leads vocally. She's someone that her teammates look to strive to be like, and she puts in the work every single day as a professional. The mundane things, the little things. She does all of them to her utmost ability, and that translates to the court.
So far leading the way in kills with 7 on 18 swings. She has hit 2 balls out of bounds, which is very uncharacteristic. Omaha's got to make a move. To Brock off the edge of the block and down.
To Brock going high off of Shampoo's hand. A little bit of a height disparity there. She's swinging high, following through nicely down the line. Omaha desperately needed that point.
Still plenty of time for Omaha to get back into the second set and even the match at 1 apiece. Both teams' block defense has been pretty good. Nunaviller off of Shampoo and down. So back-to-back points for Orlando just when they needed it.
Something to note for the Supernovas, they have relied almost entirely on their pins. They only have 1 kill from on a banjo. Elise Getzinger has no kills, so they only have 1 kill from their middles. It's been all pin hitters for Omaha.
Look at Getzinger's numbers. She's been pretty solid in terms of production. So message to Omaha, they need to get their middles a little more involved, particularly at the offensive end. And the block as well. Sydney Hilly returning the favor this time against Looper.
It's a really good lineup by Sydney Hilly. Getzinger did a good job at getting to her quickly, closing off that net, almost like a trap set because they were both there and pressed.
3-0 run here for Omaha, 16-15, one of the 2-time team timeouts taken by Orlando. We're talking about Brittany Abercrombie, MVP and best opposite last year, one of the best opposites playing volleyball anywhere professionally. And this is why. She just uses the entire court. Very, very difficult to defend.
I love this graphic. Watch this. Every single area of the court, she paints it perfectly, and this is not on accident. She is aiming, she is reading the defense, she's reading the block, she's reading the defender, she's going up, she's taking the smart swing. It doesn't always have to be a rip into the seam. That's why she doesn't get blocked a whole lot, because she's really smart with her eyes, and she knows when to go high or deep. Not really hitting middle back ever, but to the corners, she's so successful there.
And has one of the best tips in all of professional volleyball.
Absolutely.
Throw down from 6'3", 6'4", long, left-handed, right into the middle of the court. Very tough to defend. Here's to Brock. Very filmed. And that ball just out of bounds. I was about to say, to Brock, of course, went to school here at Creighton, so very familiar to the fans of Omaha and around the state of Nebraska. Charity Looper having quite the afternoon so far. Richard Bertoli's in attacking and also passing. And a touch on the defensive end as well. Good swing by Maddox. Good run. What a run by Beeson. I didn't know she ran track at Nebraska as well. Kaz Brown, and right back at it. Beeson with a huge smile on her face. Beeson again. That'll get this big crowd going.
Watch this initial save by Merritt Beeson. Body to the floor, giving everything she has for this play. Running, 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 diving. Yeah, look at that track. One hand layout, so good. Blood, sweat, and tears to keep this play alive. And then to finish the play, look at the smiles. The crowd erupted.
Yeah, Beeson all the way back to the front row. Not the cheap seats back there by any measure, but then all the way back into her defensive position in area number 1, which is right back, and made a dig there as well against Kaz Brown. 17-16 is the advantage still for Orlando. Husic, who's really been avoided. She is a masterful passer. Haven't called her name much in reception at all. Hooper there with another dig. Abercrombie, no. Nice play by Maddox. Very, very smart. Up into the block, off the antenna, and out of bounds for the score.
It's only Maddox's second year pro, but that is a veteran move. Nice control, high off the hands, following through and swiping it off the blocker to the antenna.
Maddox now with 5 kills on 18 swings. Somewhat quiet. First touch by Anabanjo. Looper out of the back row. Outstanding read by Shampoo because Maddox was on the floor.
Most definitely, and it's a triple block up, but Charity Looper saw the block, crossbody swing away, identified the hands of the blockers really well right there.
Orlando has had an answer every time Omaha has come back to put some pressure on them. One-on-one. Fantastic dig by Looper again. We'll give you her defensive numbers after this point. One-on-one again. Shampoo with the stuff that time against Nunaviller. Charity Looper now with 7 digs, and the lead is back up to 4. So a 3-0 run for Omaha. We can do the same if you're Orlando to take the 20-16 advantage. Timeout called once again. The nation's top volleyball stars are heading to Orlando as Major League Volleyball will hold the second All-Star match in league history. And you can be there. Tickets are now on sale for this historic contest on Saturday, March 28th, which will be broadcast live on CBS and Paramount Plus. Get your tickets now by visiting provolleyball.com/All-Star 2026. Back with Madison Fitzpatrick, I'm Paul Sunderland. Holly McPeak, we miss you. Back home celebrating her son's birthday. So hope you're enjoying watching. And the birthday for Leonardo. The championship finals at a site to be determined will be on May 7th and 9th. 20-16, really solid for Orlando. An interesting part about Orlando I'll get to in just a moment. Maybe help them prepare for this season. That ball off of Brown. Orlando, not at the last minute, but with just some notice, was invited to play in the Club World Championships in Sao Paulo. So they got an early look in mid-December, December 9th through 11th, down in Sao Paulo to see where they were as a team. The first American team to ever participate in that championship. Shampoo coming back to Abercrombie. Inside, dug by Hilly. On a banjo. Didn't time that out quite perfectly. On the joust. Beeson. Good swing, but missed it just out of bounds, and the run continues.
The Valkyries have been just a little bit more consistent and terminal in transition. Both teams passing well, both teams siding out okay, but it's the in transition game that the Valkyries have the leg up on this set.
Opening set, Orlando led 18-16, won at 25-18 with a late push, and here it goes again. This set, Orlando led 17-16 and now up 22-17.
And to your point on the Valkyries playing in Brazil, she said, Coach Amy Polly told us it gave her some info on this team. It was a really good experience for the younger players like Maddox and Looper. It gave them prep for hard situations, like in their first match against Grand Rapids. They could draw back on their experience versus Egypt and kind of have that experience to propel them forward and get that win.
Played a solid club from Italy and also from Turkey, and then played against Egypt, an Egyptian club to close it out. Emily Londat, 6'3", opposite, second year in Omaha. Second leading scorer all time in the history of Ohio State volleyball. This crowd is just raring to go. You saw or heard them when they exploded after that play by Merritt Beeson, but Orlando has taken them out of it. Looper. Charity Looper is a giving person on Sunday, and it's Orlando on the receiving end.
And I want to shout out Pusic, the libero for the Valkyries. She has really controlled this defense. That was a pretty hard attack, but she controls it well, angles her platform nicely. Shampoo does a good job at getting her feet there, and then Coach Amy Polly brought Charity Looper in for that back row attack, and she's delivered.
That ball served just out of bounds, back to Looper. 9 of 18. She's been blocked once, hitting .444. Has a block, stuff blocked against Beeson. That ball just out of bounds. And 8 digs. Best player on the floor so far. And passing, it's such a good number, almost 60%. Little miscommunication there, but kept alive by Londat. Abercrombie. A seam in the block, and she'll find it every time.
Every time. You can almost guarantee it. If you see about a foot of space in between the middle blocker and the outside blocker, she's going to take advantage. Shampoo, this is another reason why it's so good that Shampoo runs a balanced offense, because it stresses the block and it opens it up for seams.
Set point number 1, Foster at the line. And it has been all Orlando so far. That ball successfully off the top of the block by Tabrak. You know, I'm looking at this, and remember, Atlanta brought a reverse sweep. So if Orlando wins this second set, Omaha will have lost 5 straight sets. They got some correcting to do during the intermission. Set point number 2, Londat. Abercrombie, high up into the block, good chase by Nunaville. Tabrak looking high hands and missed it out of bounds, an unforced error there. So the second set, again, Orlando taking this big crowd out of it so far. And Orlando looking to go to 3-0 on the early season, Major League Volleyball season. They win the opening set 25-18. They take the second 25-20. And once they've gotten into the red zone, that is, Orlando has absolutely dominated. Remember, it was 18-16, they won 25-18, 17-16, and they win the second set 25-20. Let's go over to Madison Fitzpatrick with a very special guest.
Charity, 10 kills, 8 digs, hitting .474. What's working best for your game right now?
Yeah, it's just staying steady and trusting my teammates. I have a lot of trust in them. They have a lot of trust in me. And, you know, I'm just doing what I know how to do.
To close this out in 3 sets, what's it going to take in this next set?
It's going to take a lot of grit. Omaha's a great team. They never give up. They always keep fighting to the last point. So a lot of grit, a lot of toughness from us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Charity Looper, as Madison pointed out, having a pretty good scoring line so far. And add to that, nearly perfect in reception. Charity Looper, the star so far. Orlando on top, on the road, 2-0.
Spin you. We will start you in 3, 2, 1, go. Man, you gotta help him out. He's blindfolded. Let's go. 20 seconds. Fans, help him out. Where's he at? And 5, 4, 3, 2. He gets the money at the last second. Brother, you got $500. Can I get a no-no? Let's into the camera. Go Novas! Make some noise for your Omaha Supernovas! $500. You must be nice.
Live Hydration is proud timeout sponsor of the Omaha Supernovas. Live Hydration provides premier treatments for clients to achieve optimal levels of health and wellness. The floor mop crew is presented by Groundworks, your local foundation repair experts and proud partner of the Omaha Supernovas. Lawler's Custom Sportswear is the official merchandise provider of the Omaha Supernovas. Lawler's has the best and largest selection of Supernovas fan gear in Omaha. Make sure to stop by the Lawler's located on the south side of the arena during tonight's match to get your official Supernovas gear. You can also shop online at LawlersCustom.com. Cityscape Healthcare is proud partner of the Omaha Supernovas. As Omaha's largest independent advanced wound care and limb preservation provider, Cityscape meets patients where healing happens. Their team is focused on restoring mobility.
Welcome back live once again to Volleytown. That is Omaha, Nebraska, as champions collide over the last couple of seasons here in Major League Volleyball, coming your way on CBS Sports Network. Omaha trailing Orlando. These two teams won the two championships, Omaha in 24, Orlando last year. And it's all Orlando so far, 25-18, 25-20. And let's take a look at where the ball is going. And no surprise, first, let's take a look at Orlando, and it's heavily right side to Abercrombie.
And this is what we kind of expected coming into it. Brittany Abercrombie always attacking on that right side, whether it be the D ball or in the front row. 44% have gone to her, 33% to the outside, and then 23% to the middle. Pretty even distribution and kind of exactly what the game plan is for the Valkyries. And then for Omaha, super heavy on that left side with Parsons and Nunaviller at 55%, 17% in the middle. So she's trying to run the middle, but they only have one kill between the both of them. So trying to get that one going. And then the opposite position doing really well. I saw Londot come in a little bit in that last set. So he's definitely trying to get some more activity on that right side as well.
We talk about the numbers, but this really shows you heavily to Abercrombie and also heavily left side to Parsons and Nunaviller for Omaha. Back with the third set right after this. Major League Volleyball on CBS Sports Network is proudly presented by Chase Sapphire. Back with Florida State All-American Madison Fitzpatrick. I'm Paul Sunderland. The last two champions, as I've mentioned a couple of times, Omaha and Orlando going at it, but it has been all Orlando so far. The Valkyries on top. They have been much better once they've gotten into the red zone, really closing out these first couple of sets. And Charity Looper sharing with you that she wasn't exactly feeling 100%. She's playing absolutely lights out. Some changes to the Omaha lineup. Emily Londot, who came on late for Merritt Beeson, she comes in to start along with Kiara Reinhardt. Reinhardt, the top pick for Omaha this past draft season, that you and Holly McPeak handled so masterfully.
Thank you. Coach obviously trying to get some middle production here, putting in Reinhardt. He's got depth in that middle position. So we also see Londot in on the right side. He's got some new faces in, seeing if they can get something going. Throughout those first two sets, Omaha hit 163, the Valkyries 299.
You talked about the middle attacking or lack thereof. Omaha, one swing by a middle blocker in that second set.
And the thing is, they're passing pretty well. They're getting the pass up to Sydney, who's not running it.
That's a medium pass coming right side to Londot. Londot wearing number 27 in white. A lucky cover by Orlando. Smartly back up into the block. Shampoo to Foster, is able to throw that ball down through the block.
One of the things that Coach Amy Pauley challenged Natalie Foster with in the offseason was the quickness of her movements laterally, getting there, touching balls on the block, eye sequence on the block. She did a good job there at slowing down the attack, getting off the net, and then getting the kill.
Perfect pass by Nuneviller, and immediately trying to get Reinhardt involved in the middle. Just not crisp there. And speaking of that, Hannah Maddox, number 14 in light blue, the outside hitters, of which there is a plethora. There's an abundance, an overabundance for Orlando. Maddox and particularly Looper have been quite good. Here's Shampoo, just underway here in the third set, and dials up an ace.
That's
Brock and Nuneviller.
Sorry, that's another thing that Coach Amy Pauley said she wanted to work on was the pace and the distance of those serves, kind of yo-yoing that serve-receive line, but playing with the velocity and the power behind each of their serves. She said we need to amp that up, and so far in the set they have.
This crowd is really getting antsy. At one moment where Orlando tried to stave off Omaha. Omaha got back within one, a couple spectacular plays by Merritt Beeson, and that's a very successful middle attack by Reinhardt. Omaha in white, they're 2-1 so far in the early season. Orlando in the light blue, they're 2-0. Omaha has lost 5 sets in a row. 3 at the hands of Atlanta in a reverse sweep on Friday night, and they've lost the first 2 sets here. Really good set in transition, going high hands, nicely done by Tabak.
We haven't called Morgan Hence's name out that much, but that was a really good pass by her. Keeping the ball alive, kind of pushing it a little bit towards the net. And then Tabak has been a spark plug for this team, coming in, scoring when she needs to. Nice high hand swing by her.
Morgan Hentz coming over as a free agent from Atlanta. Libero of the year the last 2 seasons, and had a fantastic year with the U.S. women's national team head coach Eric Sullivan. They finished 5th at the World Championships, and she played an awful lot in the first unit. Good set in transition by Pusic. Foster again, good stop or slow down by Reinhardt. Another long rally. Tight set, hitting the ball straight up was Londot. And Sis is blocked. Once again, going back to what Lucas Labe told us, Omaha just getting blocked way too often so far through the first 3 matches. 35 times on 300 swings, 10% rejections. That's way high.
And he said, yes, sometimes we are trap setting ourselves. Sometimes it's because of the set, but other times we're just trying to rip it too much into the seam. Londot did a good job at recycling the ball, but then the block for the Valkyries is just too resilient.
Shampoo stayed below the height of the net. She's a back row setter. What a smart play. There is Londot again. And got a piece of the block, no question about that. Good swing. 27 in white.
Supernova.
The Supernovas have no quit in them. Yes, sometimes it's not pretty and it's got to be scrappy and you got to be gritty. It's not looking like they're in complete control of the set or they're in that much of a rhythm, but they're grinding through these rallies and they're staying in it.
Londot had a spectacular career at Ohio State, the National Freshman of the Year, 3-time All-American. And I mentioned the second leading scorer in the history of Ohio State volleyball. And one of the things I respect the most about Londot, when everybody was going into the portal and Ohio State started to struggle, she stayed. She stayed all 5 years. I say 5 because of the COVID year. I've always admired her really a lot because of that.
That's rare these days.
People were jumping ship pretty fast there when things started going south at Ohio State. That ball served out of bounds by Foster, who has yet to get it going.
Serving through the bingo, number 27.
Londot once again will go back to the line. Slave going deeply into his bench. Sarah Parsons was struggling on the outside. Brooke Nunaville is having a spectacular late afternoon. Rare mistake. That was a setting mistake by Shampoo. Looper tried to save it, but back to Nunaville. 11 kills on 27 swings, 8 digs, and passing at just under 60%.
The next highest attacker has 4 kills, which is
not getting much help.
Yeah, exactly.
Tough serve, well handled by Looper, and then in system once again to Abercrombie. I think Shampoo and Abercrombie are starting to figure it out.
And Coach told us last year, I mean, they would stay after practice and rep it out and rep it out and rep it out. And you can tell it translates to on the court in the game, reversing the flow so well as Shampoo. On a banjo late to close, and Abercrombie's going to take advantage every time.
Sis one-on-one, dug by Looper. Londot out of the back row. Looper with a good slow down along with Kaz Brown. Back row combination dug by Hintz. Looper got a piece of the block. Oh, it's called out of bounds. We might have a challenge. That ball sure looked like it changed direction.
Number 7, Nora.
Thinking about it, no challenge. Out of system swing here for Looper, going off speed. Nunaviller, who's had the hot hand. Tough chance, Kaz Brown, nice play by Hilly. Long rally. Sis out of the back row, rejected by Brown.
It's only a matter of time before Kaz Brown gets a stuffed block like that. Kaz Brown on the night, two kills on 7 attempts, no errors, but has come up big with the blocking, making good touches. It's not all about what shows up on the stat sheet. That one most definitely will, and it gives Orlando the lead by 1.
Yeah, all of those block touches and slowdowns, there's no stat for them.
Exactly.
And yet it's vitally important to your block defense phase. Here is Looper. We will have a technical timeout when a team reaches 8. That ball set too tight. Good save by Nunaville. And again, got a piece. Nice high swing by Nunaville. That register and get another kill. And we will definitely, because I know that if each team has 7, then 8 has to come next. So we'll have to take
very nice, very nice. Morgan Head's got to shout out that pass. That serve receive was phenomenal. That was a really hard serve, but she grinded through that, really got her body underneath it nicely.
And a banjo. Back row, Looper again. Charity Looper is having an afternoon here in Omaha. 11 kills on 24 swings, 10 digs, and passing lights out at 64%, good or perfect. We'll step aside at the technical timeout. Orlando up 2-0 over Omaha.
Chicken fried. Thanks for being the DJ.
A pair of jeans that fit just right, and a radio.
Major League Volleyball on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Franklin Sports, the official ball of MLV.
Welcome back, everybody. Boy, it was freezing cold yesterday in Omaha, but balmy now. It's into the low 30s, but I checked. When I leave for the airport tomorrow, it'll be 12.
I don't even want to talk about it. And it feels like negative 13. Yeah. That's what it says on the app.
Love coming here. The state absolutely adores volleyball. John Cook, and before that, Terry Pettit. And the Cornhuskers obviously have done a magnificent job, and the Supernovas continuing exactly that. Crowd of over 10,000 waiting for their team to get hot. Nice play by Morgan Hentz on the dig, but that will be wiped aside by a net violation. The blockers either Reinhardt on the outside or Hilly.
Both liberos for both teams. So much experience, so much expertise. Both of them having a quietly phenomenal night, honestly.
Tight pass. I love what Champu does with the rhythm of how she distributes the ball. Really puts a lot of pressure on the block. Dug by Londot. Nunaviller again. Smart by Hilly going to the hot hand, or the hottest hand anyway. Maddox. Brilliant swing by Maddox.
Point Valkyries.
One of the things that makes Hannah Maddox difficult to defend is the speed of her arm swing. She's got a whip of an arm, and she's coming at it with all of that fire and explosiveness that she gets from her approach, just whipping it into that arm. Nice high contact, too. She's not letting the ball drop.
Maddox now 7 kills on 25 swings. Not a great percentage, but she's gonna have a really good second season in the pro ranks. Nunaviller again off the edge of the block. But
yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, if you look around the league, and I mentioned Maddox and the young talent coming in, of course, Orlando and Omaha, I guess you have to start with an O if you're going to win a championship. But Indy is very good. I've seen them. Grand Rapids is improved. And Columbus is by far, in my mind, the most improved team in the league. And Dallas got their first ever franchise win the other night against San Diego. And Mimi Collier is going to be a star in her first year. Sis Tabrock out of the back row. Came in for Sarah Parsons.
And to play at this level, you have to have the presence, the offensive presence in that back row attack to be an outlet. Sydney Hilly with a little set behind her. Formerly Nora Sis coming in with so much power through that back row attack.
Good rhythm to the outside and another high-level swing by Maddox.
And to your point on the league, all of the coaches have all agreed that each year it gets better and better. The teams are the best they've been. The talent is as high as it's ever been, and it's the league's 3rd season.
Targeting Sis, left side, pretty deep set that time. Nunaviller got a piece. They're really having an afternoon. She is matching Charity Luper for everything. 14 kills on 35 swings, 9 digs.
And as an outside, you get the good, the bad, the ugly, the in-system, the out-of-system. You have to handle such a large load, and she can in any situation. She can score and handle it.
Take out the trash.
Yep.
Got to be able to score, as you pointed out, no matter the situation. Get another look here. Good hustle by Orlando. Reinhardt with a middle kill.
Sydney Hilly has done a really good job at finding the hot hand, which is Nunaviller, but then also she can tell when the pass is on and the opportunity is there to run through Reinhardt. That's her 2nd kill. But Hilly doing a really good job of balancing out the offense between hot hands and balance.
Good block touch. Perfect pass that time by Morgan Hentz. That's what scored the point. The second touch by Hentz.
Yeah, it's not just the flashy digs. It's all of the things that Morgan Hentz does right. The out-of-system setting, the free balls, the hard digs that she's got to get under and grind through the serve receive. And she does all of it so well and so consistently.
7th year as a pro, number 9 Hentz has a chance to play in the 2028 Olympic Games. Another big summer coming up for the national teams. Nice, beautiful play by Champu. She is really an elite setter on a global scale.
And she makes it look easy, too. She never looks stressed. You don't really see any kind of worry or anything changing on her face. She's an emotional stability leader for this team as well.
Look at the passing numbers for both teams. Orlando passing at 51% good or positive, 45% now.
Serving number 10,
Omaha's fallen off just a little bit in that phase. Omaha hadn't led since 10-9 in the second set, now 13-12. There's the Abercrombie tip. Doesn't score. It does now, but she is so effective. She gets her team in the lead in a point. I learned this from John McEnroe. You know, when you watch a lot of tennis, somebody standing in the middle of the court bombing the ball and the other opponent is running from side to side, you can immediately tell who's ahead in the point, and that applies to volleyball as well.
It's a great point, and she's not overdoing it. She doesn't rely on that tip. She mixes it in sparingly, and that's what makes it so difficult to defend.
Tied at 13, must-win set situation for Omaha to extend the match. There's that tough serve. Pretty good heat by Londot. Not a good transition set, and it's going to cost Orlando. Yeah, Natalie Foster knew it right away and apologizes to Looper.
That's what we call a trap set. It's really difficult to get your feet there. It's too tight. There's two blockers already there pressing over the net. It's almost an impossible situation.
Nunaviller with another double-double, 14 kills, now with 10 digs. We'll have a technical timeout at 16. Well left by Maddox. Pretty good serve. That ball just drifted over the end line.
Serving number 6, Brittany Abercrombie.
Looking for Abercrombie's line. It's always easy to find. It has the biggest numbers. 10 of 32. Pretty quiet afternoon, but very efficient. She doesn't cost her team points. Sis has given Omaha a bit of a lift. That's nicely done. We talked about the depth at the outside hitting position for Orlando. Some nice depth with Sis to Brock as well.
Most definitely, and you know, the competition is something that Coach Luca talks about. They're pushing each other in practice because there's so much depth, there's so much competition in practice. It translates good on the court too.
Tough serve, and that's going to be a point on the other end. Nicely done by Tabak.
Arby's ace.
Came in to replace Parsons, and Parsons was playing very well. He was chosen Major League Volleyball's first player of the week of the 2026 season. Timeout taken, Omaha leading by 2.
You see your hot squad, make some noise, Supernovas fans! West side, your Super, east side, your Novas, follow your hype squad. Let's start with Super!
Major League Volleyball on the CBS Sports Network is presented by Chase Sapphire. Part of the crowd of over 10,000. This franchise averaged 10,925 last year. They really support their Supernovas. Now let's take a look at Orlando. You always want to win the serve and pass battle, and a lot of that has to do with location.
And this is something that Coach Amy Pauley said coming into this game that they were going to emphasize. They wanted to serve that left side, the outside attacker that's coming back to pass the ball. 61% going to that 5 zone. 36% going to area 6, and 3% going to the right side of the court.
Should shift their serve receive. Just forget about area 1 over in the right back. But exactly as you pointed out, Amy Pauley and her Valkyries really want to attack the left front, which is the left attacking outside hitter. Looper, big swing. What a dig by Hentz. Free ball coming. Omaha wants to keep the momentum outside, and Brooke Nunaviller tattoos the sideline.
Brooke Nunaviller does make it look easy, but what's so difficult about that is the set's coming pretty fast, but what she does with such perfection is she cuts that ball off at the right time. If you let it fly too much past you, you're going to hit the antenna or hit it out, over-rotate. No, she cuts it off at the perfect time.
Good block deflection by Anna Banjo. Nunaviller off speed. Good stretch that time by Abercrombie at the defensive end. And that ball's missed out of bounds. Charity Looper wants a challenge for sure. If this stands, this is the largest lead of the match for Omaha. We're going to have a sub, a double sub, not a challenge. So Hannah Pukas will come on along with Naya Chamay and the double sub, and we will not have a challenge. Charity Looper was really adamant that there was a touch off that block by Omaha, but none called, none detected. 4-0 run by the Supernovas. Sis has given this team a little bit of a lift. Nice play by Onabanjo. Very close to a double that time by Pukas. Missed most of last year because of an injury. Nice to see her back on the floor. And that ball violated the plane. Kaz Brown says, yep, I was over. Some part of the ball has to be above some part of the net. And that was immediately called, and no argument whatsoever from Orlando.
Kaz Brown only with 2 kills on the night. She's got double-digit kills in her repertoire. She has that offensively, just not tonight.
Nor assist to Brock. Dialing up another service winner. Number 7 will go to the sideline and force the leaders, Orlando, leading 2-0 to call a timeout. 20-14 is the advantage, and where we've got a timeout, want to remind you, the nation's top volleyball stars are headed to Orlando as Major League Volleyball will hold the second all-star match in league history, and you can be there. Tickets are now on sale for the historic contest on Saturday, March 28th, which will be broadcast live on CBS and Paramount Plus. Get your tickets now by visiting provolleyball.com/all-star 2026. Back with Madison Fitzpatrick, I'm Paul Sunderland. What has keyed the turnaround now for Lukaslave and Omaha?
It's offense. Their offense has started to click. In this set, they're hitting 263. Second set, they hit 179. In the first set, they hit 146. So now they're above that 200 mark. They've also, with the additions of Brock coming in, stepping up. I believe she has 4 kills in this set. Brooke Nunaviller has stayed so consistently high at such a high level, but I think offensively getting into a rhythm is what has them in the lead.
Remember, Omaha was reverse swept the other night by Atlanta here on their home floor. They'd like to return the favor to the visitors from Orlando. Nice read by Nunaviller, out of the play. There is Londot. Londot and Tabak have done a nice job lifting the level. Good coaching decisions to make some subs by Lukaslave.
Coach Slave said the depth that he has on this team, it's beautiful, it's a beauty, but it's also a curse. Well, here tonight, it's definitely playing to their advantage. Those players coming in, adding some fire, accumulating some points, and playing really well. Yeah, big lead here now for Omaha. They got to close it out on the overpass. Good play by Londot. Onabanjo almost faked her out of it. And Tabak once again out of the pipe. Volleyball's a game of momentum. We talk about it all the time. It felt like in those first 2 sets, Orlando was in control of the momentum, in control of the tempo. Omaha most definitely in control, and especially with this 8-0 run, they have lit on fire as of late.
An 8-0 run in the sport of volleyball is a huge run. That is a huge run. It's what Seattle did to the 49ers the other day in the NFL playoffs, 41-6. Of course, I have my fingers crossed, my toes crossed. I said my prayers this morning for my Rams coming up later today at frigid Chicago.
Good luck to you.
Thank you, thank you. The MVP, Matthew Stafford, I'm sure will light it up.
And also the addition, I forgot to mention, Reinhardt coming in. In this set, 2 kills, but only got set 4 times, no errors, so she's been consistent, hitting 500. She's been what they need from her as well. It's these new faces in the depth that has really pushed Omaha forward in this set.
I mean, remember, you pointed it out in between sets 2 and 3 that the middles previously Onabanjo and Getzinger for Omaha were 1 of 11. Perfect pass by Maddox. And that's all is good by Brown, who in her own right has been pretty quiet, as you pointed out, offensively. Very, very good player, particularly at the defensive end.
Most definitely, and she's really good off 1 foot behind the setter. I'd like to see them get her going there on the slide more.
Omaha 2 points away, 3 points away from getting on the board. Good reception by Sis. Abercrombie really pays attention to the defensive end. Nunaviller Now 2 points away.
If you're a young volleyball player and you're watching this match, pay attention to Brooke Nunaviller, her step close to the ball. It is so good. She's got that long approach, but then it's the final 2 steps, getting her feet to the ball and then dropping that thumb, almost like a full body crunch on the ball, getting it to go down, big snap of a wrist.
Love that full body crunch. Allison Holder, defensive specialist, also the backup libero, on to serve and play some defense. Block touch there. Good reaction by Londot on the throw down by Brown.
I would say all opposites are playing really good defense. Londot's been really good. Brittany Abercrombie laying out with those pancakes has been good. Merritt Beeson, when she was in the game, she's been really good.
That one rally was spectacular. She covered about 100 yards. Nunaviller again. And Shampoo can't get there. Brooke Nunaviller now. Thank you, Madison. With 17 kills on 40 swings.
No errors.
Wow. Really, really high efficiency. Crowd to their feet. Set point number 1. Omaha is going to get on the board. Nobody there, and Maddox gives Omaha a gift and misses that ball with nobody up. So Orlando really dominated in the red zone and won the first 2 sets, 25-18, 25-20. But then Omaha, with some substitutions on the floor, comes back and comfortably takes the third. Headed to the fourth right after this.
During tonight's match, which means everyone receives free curly fries courtesy of Arby's. And then you are going up on the video board to redeem your free curly fries.
Well, the Supernovas certainly have some super fans. The excursion to the moon is coming up in February. Maybe these father and son are getting ready. Well, Omaha needed to win a set. They ended losing a streak of 5 sets in a row and will play on to 4. Let's take a look at the attack direction in set number 4 for Omaha off the left side.
Yeah, off the left side to Brock and Nunaviller, both combined 10 kills in that third set. They've carried a really large load. You can see not a lot of 4-4, not a lot of sharp cross, but a lot of deep into that angle, into that 6 zone. Not a lot to that deep line, but both of them having a lot of success. Like I said, 10 kills between the two of them in that third set. A lot of success in the deep. Not a lot of tips as well, we can notice from that.
Well, and Lucas Labe was not happy with the fact that his team had been blocked so repetitively throughout the first 3 matches. And showing that shot chart, his players, Tobrok coming in, Parsons, Landot, and specifically Nunaviller, are hitting high and deep part of the court. Just underway 4th set, and Foster registers the first kill.
Goodbye, Natalie Foster.
I can bet you so much money that Amy Pauley looked at her middles and said, we need you guys, we gotta get you going. And boom, right out of the gate, Shampoo delivers beautiful set to Natalie Foster, who had a really high hitting efficiency last season.
Yeah, I'll give you that number. Hey, there's another ace. That's the 7th ace so far on the early season. Once again, last year's new record holder with 64 aces on the year. Last year, Foster hit 355 on the season, her first in professional volleyball. Dug by Maddox. Pretty good first contact that time. Looper a little bit quiet in that third set. Remember, I told you, Madison, that don't get too close. I'm under the weather, but so maybe running on fumes a little bit here, because she was red hot through the first 2 sets.
Well said in that third set. 1 kill on 9 attempts, 3 errors, hit in the negative.
And you look at her total, she's very productive. Look at that serve by Foster. Landot, good cover. Landot again, and gets it inside. Abercrombie with another dig. Nunaviller hits the floor more than a professional wrestler. Nice play by Abercrombie.
Wow, she really does. You can hear that from where we are, the bang on the ground, but it's that never say die kind of mentality that just makes her who she is. She is such a gamer. Good up by heads. Look at that. Bang, right on the floor, but it doesn't matter because she just wants to keep the ball alive. Shampoo delivering the set. Brittany Abercrombie, if you give her so many chances in transition, she's going to score.
Quick early timeout called by Omaha. You get 2 team timeouts, and Lucas Labe could not wait any longer, trailing Orlando 2 sets to 1 and 4-0. You talked about what a quintessential professional number 6 is, Brittany Abercrombie, but boy, does she pay attention at the defensive end. No tips go down in her area without a complete 100% effort. She digs hard-driven balls, and then she's there in transition as well. Just an outstanding player so far in her professional career, and she's been at it for a while. Her 8th year as a pro, played in South Korea as well as in Italy and Turkey. It was in South Korea that she... That's an ace serve, another one. This serve is such a weapon. We saw that all last season.
And watch it move from the time that it contacts her hand to the time it's back at the serve receive line. It is dipping and diving with so much pace. You got to get your platform there quickly, but it dives so much.
This is the best serve in the league. There's no question about that. If Morgan Hentz can't handle it, nobody can. Free ball coming. Good back row combination, and that ball blocked, but just out of bounds. Boy, that ball was just wide. You know what I've noticed about Shampoo? She gets her attackers one-on-one on an awful lot of average passers. That's what's really special about her.
Yeah, she can find their hands so well and still run the routes. That was a really well-executed route, kind of messing up the block.
Another very tough serve. 6-0 is the advantage. Maddox unloading out of the back row. Hilly digs that, but out of reach. And Orlando, after dropping the third set, is absolutely rolling right now. Quickly with Foster, we're 1 point away from the first technical timeout. And that ball out of bounds. And Foster, interesting story, she concluded her career at SMU. Didn't really serve at all until her senior season in college, and she's developed this incredible weapon. 7-1. So Omaha is on the board, and the crowd once again has been completely taken out of the match. Very easy serve. Brown, no, Abercrombie, and pulls that crossbody down the line.
Point Valkyries. Skilled by Abercrombie.
Just like the first 2 sets, the Valkyries are in control of the pace and the tempo of this set so far.
Technical timeout here in Omaha. And the Supernovas are in trouble right now against the visitors from Orlando. Let's take a look at the play of the game, brought to you by Chase Sapphire, and aptly named. A lot of chasing going on in this particular point.
Merritt Beeson is a track star, giving it everything she has, and then it's a left hand, one arm to keep that play alive. Brooke Nunaviller to finish it. She's been so good all night, but that play only made possible by the elite Merritt Beeson.
The play of the game brought to you by Chase Sapphire. There is Abercrombie, just another day at the office. To her totals, now 13 of 37, 2 errors, 11 digs for last year's most valuable player. Good play by Brown. Londot takes a look at the block and got a piece. And Abercrombie's really mad at herself for not making that dig defensively. Thought that was a good block by her team in front.
Most definitely a lot of really good time to press by Kaz Brown. Worth noting in this set, Orlando Valkyries hitting 778. They have 5 players already on the board with a kill. It's only 8-2. And Shampoo has gotten 5 players involved offensively.
Plenty of time for Omaha to get back in this 4th set, once again facing a must-win situation. And here is Charity Luper, a little bit quiet in that 3rd set, but has re-energized herself after a really good start for the first couple of sets. Luper now with 13 kills on 30 swings.
The block on their way down there, Charity Luper just hangs so long in the air, causing the block to be on its way down, and she can swing over.
Luper listed at 5'9". I think that's a little generous, but boy, she is a tremendous athlete, and what a leaper.
Emily Londot.
Good cut shot by Emily Londot, number 27 in white off the right side.
Nice crafty play. We haven't seen that from Londot so far tonight. Dropping the pinky, cross-body swing. No one there, and Omaha needs that. They need to start chipping away, winning those transition points.
And Orlando has got to stay locked in. They carved out this huge early lead, but you don't want to give any of it up. Kusic, we haven't called her name very often. She's so good in reception, you just avoid her like a bad case of the flu. Nunaviller, nice dig by Luper, good read. I'll tell you, assist to Brock has done a very nice job, number 7 in white, 2nd season off the bench.
And we're going to get a challenge from Coach Amy Pauley.
We'll have to hear what this challenge is about. Again, it can't be for in and out because that's all done electronically. You cannot challenge in or out.
This challenge brought to you by Smith Volley.
I was trying, but I did not hear the first referee, Christian Krijak. Talking about a ball being down. That's a pretty, that is who else but the mayor of Hentzville. We got Volleytown and we got Hentzville. That's my contribution to the sport of volleyball.
Wow, such a good up.
Obviously done Major League Volleyball replay system. 9-4, plenty of time. Maddox is held up in reception. Really good location, off speed, rejected by Brown. Slide. Good block touch by Sister Brock. And did she get a piece of the block? Did not. Missed out of bounds by number 7. You know what they say in the NBA is the worst thing? A big lead early. A big lead early, because there's 3 other quarters. There's still plenty of time for Omaha to get back in this set, but they got to clean things up. And every point scoring opportunity they have, they got to start converting at a pretty high rate. That's beautifully done in reception and then in attack. I'll tell you, the Orlando block is ignoring Banjo. It's making it pretty tough. They're not getting enough scoring out of the middle.
And when we talked about it, we saw that graphic. There's just not enough production, not enough points out of the middle. Coach LeBay by putting in Reinhardt, trying to get something going, but not much.
Banjo is 1 of 11 in attacking. We'll get you Reinhardt's numbers. She came on
Serving
as a
number 3,
substitute.
Jumbo, good bar.
2 for 6.
2 for 6. So that's 3 for 17 right now out of the middles. And Elise Getzinger started, and she's been effective, especially on the slide as the M1, but not so much so far this late afternoon. Abercrombie crossbody once again.
Shampoo with a beautiful jump set. She really does vary when she releases that ball. She's up in the air. She doesn't always jump set, but here she does. And what it does is it really messes up the block. The block can be on their way down. Look at that release. So well done. And with that gap in the block on a Banjo, with that gap, I mean, she just takes such control over that.
Nunaviller registering another kill. But no answer. 18 kills on 45 swings for Nunaviller, now hitting over 370.
Serving Toyosi Banjo.
18 of 58 on Friday night. Once again, a reverse sweep by Atlanta. 3 sets to 2 was the win, and they won that 15-6 in the 5th set. Nunaviller, unforced error there, trying to get the ball rolled short.
It was a pretty good out-of-system set. It's just difficult when it's that high. You have to be so patient on your approach. And she tried, but the timing is sometimes difficult with a set that high out-of-system.
Yeah, it was a tough chance, and given the score, which is the most important thing in life, you just can't make that mistake. Sis on the reception again, and then on the back row. The big combination.
She's really been targeted. The Valkyries are going after her almost every single serve. She is carrying such a large load, especially coming in off the bench, but she's done a really good job at passing dimes. Sydney Hilly didn't even have to move there. And then she got set and got the kill.
Question is, can Omaha put together a 3 or 4-0 run and really put some pressure on the visitors from Orlando? Orlando at 2-0. They've had a good solid week of practice. Omaha at 2-1 so far. They were picked. Orlando was picked to win the league. Omaha was picked second by the coaches and the media. Nobody asked me. Did anybody ask you?
Yeah.
Oh, that were probably smart. Reinhardt, number 10 in white. Number 8 overall draft pick out of nearby Creighton. This is the home arena for Creighton basketball.
Number 5, Nunaviller.
We'll have another technical timeout at 16. Really like the way Hannah Maddox has played so far on the day. Reinhardt with another score.
All the outsides for both teams have done a really good job. They're all getting targeted in serve receive, and that's a large load that you have to take. Reinhardt coming in, making a big impact, good block, and then she's ready. She's aware. She's tracking the ball. She's got good eye sequence, and that's a gimme. You need that point if you're Omaha.
Maddox so far 11 of 36 on the afternoon. Is getting some exercise trying to play defense right now against Omaha as the crowd senses kind of do or die time now to get back in, as does Amy Pauley. Time now to get a break and step aside. Amy Pauley calling a timeout, even though we're only 2 points away from the second technical at 16. We're talking about how these two setters are just absolutely top of the class, and Shampoo, more experience than Sydney Hilly and having a really good afternoon. Let's look and see where she moves the ball around.
And this is pretty similar to last season, the way that Shampoo runs an offense. She runs it with so much balance. First of all, you've got Brittany Abercrombie, who is so terminal. 47% of the sets go out to her, and that's a smart decision by Orlando. She's their main point scorer. Then Shampoo does a good job, even when she's off the net, running it through the middle, 20%, and then left side, outsides, 33%. But Shampoo, I said in the open, she's the heartbeat of this team, and she's why the Valkyries last season led the league in hitting efficiency. They're a really difficult team to defend.
Courtney Schwann, a starter last year on this championship team for Orlando, coming in now to solidify the passing. What do you think of the substitution?
I love Courtney Schwann in the back row.
Charity Luper off the edge of that platform, and just like that, after trailing 7-0, Omaha is back within 3. I've just been handed a note. Someone who's got a little bit of a Creighton vibe in him. 6 of the 9 Omaha kills this set are by Creighton Blue Jays.
Oh, very cool.
That's going to be a back row block called against Shampoo. And just like that, it's 14-12. I know somebody texted you the attendance. They didn't text it to me. They texted it to you. 10,523. There we go.
All time. Nebraska loves their volleyball.
Fantastic. Wonderful job by the Supernovas. Averaged 10,900 last year to Abercrombie, of course. You're going to go to number 6, the MVP, when you got to get out of a rotation.
I talk about Nunaviller getting sets when they're in pressure situations. She's their go-to. Abercrombie is their go-to. Back's kind of against the wall. They were up by a lot. Now they're only up by 3. So, of course, she's the one they go to.
Back row combination to Nunaviller and missed by Abercrombie. Not a lot of top spin on that ball, so missed out of bounds. Courtney Schwann is a volleyball junkie. After the championship last year, she and her husband, who's Italian, Giacomo, they flew back to Italy, drove 6 hours. She played in a beach tournament, played on the Italian circuit for 4 months, then went and played in the Philippines for 3 months before coming back to Orlando. This is one of those point-scoring opportunities, and Nunaviller's got it. Huge comeback by the Supernovas, now to trail by only 1.
You talked about the timeout at 16 so many points ago, and the Valkyries still haven't gotten there. Omaha's done a really good job of just sitting in it, having mental fortitude, and grinding through this, even when it doesn't feel that good.
Very tough serve, and what do you know? We are tied at 15. And we will have the second technical timeout after this point.
It is a really tough serve. I talk about Courtney Schwann. She's one of the best passers on this team and in the league. Her touch is so calm and controlled, but it's hard coming off the bench with a serve this good.
Well handled by Pusic. And what a much-needed play by Charity Luper again. But Pusic, Teodora Pusic, the outstanding libero at the 2022 World Championships for Serbia, steps into the breach and creates the point-scoring opportunity. Orlando leads it by 1.
Supernovas fans, I got to tell you exactly how many Novas fans showed up tonight. We gave away these hats, right? The first 5,000 fans received a hat. Did you receive a hat? Make some noise. Listen to me. There are 10,523 fans in Novas Nation tonight. Something else nobody else can touch. This is the 17th crowd of more than 10,000 people. If you call yourself a Supernova, make some noise! Now make our athletes feel you. Get loud, Novas fans!
Well, like I said, in the NBA, a big lead early is the kiss of death, and that's exactly what Orlando had. They had a 7-0, 8-1 lead at the first technical timeout, and here comes the Supernovas trailing by only 1. Back with Madison Fitzpatrick, I'm Paul Sundron. Thanks for spending your late afternoon with us here on CBS Sports Network for Major League Volleyball season number 3. These are the 2 previous champions. It was Omaha the inaugural season in 24, and it was Orlando last year. Championship this year is a site to be determined on May 7th through 9th. Good touch by Hentz. The ball was set too low, not up to Hilly's standards. On the slide, and somehow to the floor by Kaz Brown.
Kaz Brown put a lot of work in that play, getting off the net in transition, running her route. Good up by Abercrombie. Kaz Brown off the net. maybe a mistimed tip. I don't know if she meant to do that, but sometimes if you don't know where it's going, you're just trying to get it over. The defense doesn't know either.
Yeah, very interesting, something about the slide that's unique to women's volleyball. Pusic right on target, and Maddox with the dig. I was watching that replay of Kaz Brown, and one of the things about the slide, even if a middle attacker can't get beyond the 3-meter line, with the slide they can have enough space to get a good in-run, even all of it happening inside the 3-meter line, and still attack the slide.
That's a great point. It can be a smaller route, a shorter route. You can still have just as much success.
Yeah, close to the net, but still enough footwork to get something going. And nice work by Kaz Brown and the rest of the Orlando Valkyries. A timeout called by Lucas Labe.
I want all of you to get up out of your chairs.
Going back to Coach Labe in his initial season in Major League Volleyball, working on Coach Kirai's staff at the Paris Olympic Games and at the Tokyo Olympic Games and in Tokyo. And I was very happy to be in Tokyo for that, where the United States women under Coach Kirai and Coach Labe won their first ever World Olympic gold medal. And then that's a fantastic picture, but I must say that medal doesn't belong to Lucas Labe. He borrowed it from one of the players, because one of the stupidest things in all of Olympic sports is the coaches don't get medals.
That doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't make any sense, and they're not lacking for funds, trust me. At the World Championships, at the World Cup, at the VNL, of course, everybody gets a medal. But Lucas Labe can say he coached a gold medal team along with Coach Kirai and the rest of that wonderful staff. Alfie Ref, now at UCLA, was on that staff. Big block here by Omaha. A much needed scoring stuff that time by the Supernovas. They're right back in this. First time we see Abercrombie on the pipe. Good dig. 21 kills. 24 is her career high.
It's a great dig, and Nunaviller is just as efficient in the back row as she is the front row. Watch how much space she takes from the ball. Good set by Sydney Hilly, but she does a good job of getting her feet there, identifying Kaz Brown in the middle, crossbody swinging down.
Kaz Brown on the slide, and that ball was just missed out of bounds. Again, no challenge, very, very close to the sideline. Tied at 18. Remember, it was 7-0, 8-1, Orlando in the lead. Easy serve. But to the advantage, Maddox did not handle that well. Outside serve didn't have much on it. Immediately, Maddox pats herself on the chest. My fault, my fault. That's exactly right.
During this Omaha run, Omaha's done a good job at amping up the service pressure. The passing for the Valkyries has kind of broken down.
Omaha has outscored Orlando 19-11. That's a mistake to go to Pusic. Good block touch. Londot has done a nice job as well defending her position. And a rare misconnection that time between Shampoo. Abercrombie's pass was too tight. Timeout called by Orlando. What a turnaround by the Supernovas. 5-0 run to take the 20-18 advantage.
What's crazy is in this set, the Valkyries still hitting 444. That's how good they were at the beginning of this set. Omaha creeping back in with really good service pressure, mental fortitude that it takes to grind out even when it doesn't feel like you have the chemistry, but they got back in it, and now they have a 2-point lead. The Supernovas hitting 375, and they were hitting negative at the beginning.
So where does Shampoo go, and where does the first reception go? She's got Kaz Brown up front, Hannah Maddox, who's on the left side, Charity Looper available on the pipe, and you've got Abercrombie available on the right side. So when you pass in system, Shampoo can have as many as 5 different choices. First contact, and good timeout by Amy Pauley. That ball missed out of bounds by Londot.
Coach Amy Pauley knows that that's a strength, how many routes and how many attackers they can have on the floor at one time. She said that's a key for them. Every single person running their route, every single play.
Substitution into match for the Valkyries, number 7, Nia Shimei.
Nia Shimei in her second year. year, Grand Rapids last season. She's the backup opposite to Abercrombie, so she will come on as a blocking sub. Just this one rotation, or turn through the service line, if you will. Good transition set, and Nora assists to Brock. Missed the block and out of bounds. We're going to have a challenge, a touch off the block. I thought there was a touch.
I thought there was too. She was underneath it.
Omaha is challenging a block touch.
It was a really good high flat swing by Nora assists to Brock. Ava Martin, her longtime teammate, also from Creighton, is in the league as well. Brock won a championship with Orlando last year, mentioned former Big East Player of the Year. And I think she got a piece of the block. So it'll be a 2-point switch if the challenge is upheld. 4 kills for Chabrak this set. Your eyes are better than mine, Madison. That's an understatement. We're getting a look from Bill Thornburg. He's looking at the replay being fed by Major League Volleyball replay system.
From that initially, I don't see any contact. Granted, the screen is very far away from me right now. This is a big point, though.
Oh, yeah, after the comeback that Omaha has made, outscoring Orlando 19-11, again after trailing 7-0 and 8-1. I think we've got a decision.
Unsuccessful challenge. Look for a wiggle of a finger, a bending back of any of the fingers, and I don't see it.
Wow. I thought I saw the ball spin change. Wrong again, Paul. Wrong again. That is a big, big call. So it will stay at 20. The receivers, Chabrak, Nunaviller, and Morgan Hintz communicating, going to Hintz. Smart shot by Chimay, restart the point. Chimay there again. Maddox, tough chance, flat-footed, must have. Momentum, Nunaviller out of the back row, dug by Abercrombie. And Banjo, no, left side. Sis. Oh, it's down. To Brock. No assist to Brock, hanging in. And puts Omaha on top 21-20.
Brock has been so good ever since she got put in. Now she's got 5 kills in this set alone. Good on her, sticking in the rally. Even that set a little high, but she hung in the air and finished the play.
Deep serve, missed just out of bounds. So that's 2 missed serves relatively late in what could be a decisive 4th set. Once again, Orlando controlled the first couple of sets, and it was all Omaha in the 3rd, but a must-win situation for the homestanding Supernovas. Tied at 21. Shampoo, of course, back on. Nunaviller again.
Coach Amy probably told me coming into this, the reason why they're serving zone 1, whether Morgan Hintz is back there, it doesn't matter who's in that zone. They're serving that zone because they want to take the outsides out of the offense, and they don't want the passer to be able to get that pass in system for the setter to set the outside. The setter can still set the outside. They've been passing really well.
Holder back on as a serving sub and defensive specialist. 22 kills now for Nunaviller. Maddox getting a lot of hands on shots from Maddox right now. Nunaviller dug by Shampoo. Maddox is
This is why Sydney Hilly is one of the best setters in the league. Defensively, she is so good, whether that be floor defense or at the net. But watch her eyes, tracking the ball setter, ball hitter, and then boom, pressing over the net. Perfectly placed.
System, Foster Shampoo again, but give all credit to Charity Luper with dropping a dime off that serve under pressure.
Natalie Foster doing a good job with what she's been given. That's her 6th kill on 12 attempts, no errors, hitting around 500.
Well, again, she was very, very efficient last year, hitting .355 on the season. Block touch. Looper, no. Abercrombie through the seam in the block and down.
That's one of those, when you're down by 1, you've got to convert. You get a good block touch, basically a free ball. You can get your pass in system, and then you're going to go to your go-to, Brittany Abercrombie. Reinhardt just delaying a little bit to get out there and close.
Medium first contact coming to Nunaviller again and gets it through. 23 kills now for Nunaviller, 1 shy of her career high. Set point number 1 for Omaha, even this match in a set apiece.
Being up 7-0. Now Omaha back with a set point.
Yeah, tremendous comeback. They were coming apart at the seams. Pusic steps in. Abercrombie got a piece of the block. Oh, it's in. What a shot by Abercrombie from just inside the 3-meter line. And look who's going back to serve. Natalie Foster, the most dangerous serving weapon in the league. 1 set point save. Nunaviller, and it's down. Amy Pollard cannot believe that ball hit the floor. Matched her career high with that now, 24 kills for Nunaviller. Set point number 2.
You can hear every Valkyrie saying, go, go, go.
And nobody did.
No one did.
Pretty easy serve. Shampoo is there. Against Orlando. And like I said, one of the worst things in sports is a huge early lead, but give Omaha all the credit in the world for scratching and clawing their way back into this match and sending it into a 15-point tiebreaker. So 2 matches in a row in this building are going the distance.
The best team could be.
Back in Volleytown, Omaha, Nebraska. Brooke Nuneviller leading the charge for Omaha to get back in this match, and we're about set to go 5, but they wouldn't have been anywhere close without her.
24 kills. She wills this team to win. She can put this team on her back. She's such a gamer. She gets so zonal focused. You can see it in her eyes that all she wants to do is win. She's a relentless leader, offensively and defensively. And like I said before, 24 kills and the will to win. That's what she brings to this team.
So Omaha suffered a reverse sweep at the hands of Atlanta on Friday night. They're trying to return the favor on a Sunday late afternoon against the defending champions. First contact, perfect. Kiara Ryan, number 10 in white with the opening kill.
And that's a good sign if you're the Omaha Supernovas. Passing in system. The middles were really slow to start in those first couple of sets, but Reinhardt coming into the game, being available, and then being as efficient as she is has really made a difference.
Point Valkyries.
Both of these teams have some experience at going 5 sets early on. Omaha lost to Atlanta. Orlando was able to take out Grand Rapids. It's been a lot of 5-set matches around the league in the first couple weeks. A lot of parity, particularly this year, more so than in the past couple. Ace serve for Natalie Foster.
We talked about it before. That serve is usually a high risk, high reward. There's barely any risk. She is so consistent with it. It's more so reward than anything, which is amazing. The height that she's contacting it, the pace, all of it.
And missed that one just out of bounds, but puts so much pressure on the receiver.
Even when she does miss out of bounds, it's dipping and it's diving, and she really makes the receivers think.
Well, and again, you get Foster to the service line early in every set, so she might have that one extra turn. So it's smart to get her to the line early and set up your rotation to accomplish exactly that. Maddox going off speed, Londot all over that. Pusic digging right on target. Maddox outside the antenna, a rare setting mistake that time by Shampoo.
Yeah, that ball drifting all the way to her left shoulder. She wasn't able to cut it off in time, over-rotated a little bit. But you're right, that is a rare setting mistake.
I'm expecting a heavy dose of Brittany Abercrombie for Orlando here in this 5th set. Well, there it is. And luckily rattling the ball through the block and down. We'll give you her numbers. She now is 18 kills on 45 swings. And look at that number defensively, 17 digs.
She has such a calm, quiet confidence. She also brings those intangibles to this team as well.
A new career record in kills for Nuneviller with 25. Last set, Abercrombie had 7 kills on 12 swings to go along with 7 digs.
We haven't seen Brooke Nuneviller tip a lot. We haven't seen her roll shot a lot. She is going for this swing. She's so aggressive-minded, and that really bodes well for her.
Last set was won by Omaha 26-24. Looper off to a very, very good start. Has cooled off just a little bit. Bound to happen. She was just white hot. Good stab by Maddox. Nuneviller looking to add to her total. Roll shot, Abercrombie, 18 digs. Tight, smart play by Hilly. A minor ball handling error, but you just can't put Sydney Hilly in that sort of trap set situation.
Now, that was a must-have for the Valkyries. Hannah Maddox determined to get that one on her side. Really good play by both teams. I will also add the middle backs, the outside hitters who are playing 6 rotations are doing a really good job defensively, keeping plays alive for their team.
Yeah, Nuneviller, Charity Looper, a diving dig. Yeah, Maddox as well. And Maddox with a fortuitous ace off the equipment. 4th ace today for Hannah Maddox. It's a kind of Natalie Foster kind of numbers. Teams have 2 timeouts. They have 1 challenge. Teams will change sides at 8. Boy, Nuneviller is going to need an ice bath after this. Another magnificent dig. Smart shot. Emily Londot going against the flow.
From the back row, too. So sharp, so smart. Good eye sequence. Great pass, middle backs. Really doing a good job. And Londot seeing the open court. Really well done, 2-2.
Point Valkyries.
Something that's very important for this fifth set is service pressure. Coach Amy Pauley talked about it before. They have to amp up the service pressure because the Omaha Supernovas get less nuanced in their offense. They especially need that in this set.
And Lucas Labe told me the same thing about what happened in the reverse sweep. Nice play again by Nunaviller on the kill. But Lucas Labe was very critical of his team and told them so. They did not continue service pressure in the latter sets against Atlanta in the reverse sweep loss.
Great set by Hilly. Bumps it over the shoulder, leading Brooke Nunaviller perfectly.
Abercrombie. Whatever Nunaviller can do, I can do right back at you. And as I thought, a heavy dose of Brittany Abercrombie.
Orlando leans on Brittany Abercrombie in these situations, whether she's in the back row or in the front row.
Well, I looked at the numbers from last year. She averaged 11.5 swings per set. So it's not unlikely that she would get a lot of balls. Londot. Abercrombie again. And off of Hintz. And down the line, Orlando takes the 8-6 advantage. Now Abercrombie with 20 kills, and the teams will change sides. We'll take a media timeout and be back to Omaha.
Okay, Supernovas fans, check this out. I'm over here on this side, and we're the super side, right? Over there, you're the Nova side, and you know what? Right now, we need the energy high, so let's make some noise. Yo, let's start this off. One more time.
Orlando now with the 8-6 advantage, and we'll take a look at the distribution and some of the setter contacts that have determined how this match has flowed, and it has been ebbing and flowing. These are the setter contacts for Sydney Hilly of Omaha.
And this is in sets 4 and 5. You're going for that target zone. They're 24% in that target zone. Mid zone, 47%. So majority of the time they are in system. Outer zone, 29%. And that's when their offense becomes less nuanced. That's why Orlando wants to amp up the service pressure, because it really isolates the attackers. It forces them only to go out to Brooke Nunaviller, or gives them only 1 or 2 options. So the Valkyries are going to try and continue to force those passes to not be in those target zones, not in system.
Sydney Hilly won a championship with Omaha 2 years ago in 2024, took Indy to the championship match last year, and now back in Omaha after a magnificent career at Wisconsin. That ball just missed out of bounds by Reinhardt. Hilly with 51 assists, 9 digs, 4 kills, and a couple of blocks as well. 3-0 run now for Orlando. 5th set tiebreaker is to 15. Must side out if you're Omaha right now. Good pass. And Brooke Nunaviller does 2 of the 3. Good in reception and even better in attacking as well.
Sydney Hilly putting Nunaviller in a one-on-one situation. Nunaviller's their main point scorer. I am surprised Natalie Foster not there. Nunaviller identifying the hands of the block and swinging in that one-on-one.
Nunaviller back to serve, but will be available in trans out of the back row. Going away from Looper. Good dig once again by Maddox. Nunaviller hustling all over the place. Brittany Abercrombie showing her range once again and variety of location.
And it is hard to put a ball down against Nunaviller. She has been making incredible plays defensively, but Brittany's eyes are so good. Beautiful out-of-system set by Pusic, a true pro. And then you can see Brittany, just take a look at the bottom of her approach. Take a look at the other side of the net. Drop that pinky and deliver.
Abercrombie going for 20 and 20. That's 21 kills on 48 swings, hitting almost 400. She's had 2 hitting errors. Do you remember when those were? No is okay.
No.
She hit 2 balls out of bounds in the opening set. No errors since that time.
And you know what's great about that? Charity Looper started strong. She had, I would say, 10 kills in the first 2 sets, and now she's kind of slowed down. So Brittany Abercrombie has stepped up. That's why it's good to have balance in an offense. When one player kind of slows, another one can step up.
Abercrombie, once again, gets a lot of action. 24 kills in 5 sets versus Grand Rapids in the season opener. Paul Sunderland back with Madison Fitzpatrick. Really interesting match on the day. It was all Orlando in the first couple of sets, especially when we got into the red zone. They dominated in 20 above. And then Brooke Nunaviller, a wonderful performance, kept her team in. And some subs off the bench. Londot coming in with the break to Brock, along with Reinhardt, to turn this match around.
The subs off the bench have really given them life. Is the reason that we're in this 5th set right now. Emily Londot got on that ball so quickly. Nice big snap. That's what happens when you're on top of the ball. You can put it down.
Holder on to serve and play defense once again. Working on Looper, out of system here, coming to Maddox, no, to Abercrombie. And again, that's why she was MVP last year and also had a big season last year. She won Athletes Unlimited.
And Shampoo does such a good job of finding her. That pass off the net. Charity Looper doing everything she can to get it a little tighter, but Shampoo reversing the flow, back set all the way to Brittany Abercrombie's left shoulder. That is not easy.
I told you, a heavy diet of Brittany Abercrombie in the 5th set. She's 4 of 6, no errors. Foster off the line.
Serving Emily Londot.
5th set, 15-point tiebreaker. Each team has their challenge remaining. Tiebreaker is to 15. Perfect pass, one-on-one. Crushed that time by Maddox, but all Shampoo and Charity Looper on the reception.
And Kaz Brown coming in strong on that attack. Middle blocker for Omaha, jumping with Kaz Brown. He's running a route, selling it. Shampoo with a really smart decision, opening up a one-on-one for the outside who took advantage.
Spike speed 55.3 miles per hour. Timeout is called by first-year head coach Lucas Labe. Mentioned that there were 4 head coaches that were new around the league. Lauren Windsor is in Dallas. Alicia Glass-Childress is in San Diego. Lucas Labe we've talked about. Bert Kuhn has moved on to more of a managerial role in Atlanta. Lauren Bertolacci is in Indy. And some very, very good young coaching talent moving into Major League Volleyball.
For Omaha, I think a key late in this set, if they're going to win this, they've got to get hands up on Brittany Abercrombie. She's 5 for 6 right now, hitting .833, no errors. They've got to get some block touches on that and slow her down.
Well, the crowd is getting to their feet. They know that it's crunch time right now. They need to side out here and then find a way to slow Abercrombie. Oh, they service ace now for Abercrombie. Now Omaha is in real trouble. First ace of the day.
And coming at a great time, too. Coach Pauly also told us, well, they're going at the outsides. They also want to serve them short because they want to disrupt the route. They want to take them out of the offense. A lot of their strategy was taking the outsides out of the offense.
Very timely by Abercrombie, not only attacking, as you pointed out, so efficient here in the 5th set, working on to Brock. And Nunaviller misses it out of bounds.
Point Valkyries.
So the defending champions from Omaha just 1 point away from closing this match out in 5 sets. Nia Chimay will come back on. Orlando coming back to close this out in 5 sets after winning the first 2. Match point. Anabanjo is blocked, and Orlando goes out on the road. The number 1 and 2 ranked teams in the preseason. Orlando was picked to win the league, Omaha second. And Orlando, after really dominating the first couple of sets, valiant comeback by Omaha, and then a big closeout, 15-9 in the 5th set, Orlando over Omaha.
And that takes a lot of experience as a team in tough situations to win the first 2. lose the next two, and then not get reverse swept. Really well done by the leaders, by the new additions of the Orlando Valkyries. Overall, very solid performance.
Yeah, Charity Looper got things started, but Brittany Abercrombie finished it off. As I said, a very, very heavy diet of last year's MVP. Brittany Abercrombie having a big night, almost a 2020.
Yeah, the range, the explosiveness. I mean, she's just so difficult to stop. Teams all across the league have such trouble doing it, and she does it at such a high clip. She is such an MVP for this team.
Orlando improves to 3-0 as they head back to South Central Florida, if you will. Omaha now 2-2 on the season as they lose in 5 sets on Friday and again on Sunday. For our entire crew and my partner, Madison Fitzpatrick, I'm Paul Sunderland. Thanks so much for spending some time with us on this Sunday afternoon. Enjoy a very special day tomorrow, honoring the one and only Martin Luther King. So long, everybody.